It is my pleasure to introduce our next speakers. I have this in front of me so I can get their titles correct. So we have Erin Wolfram, Assistant Director at the University Career Center at KU, and Katrina Zaremba, Outreach Coordinator at the University Career Center. And I think it's really cool. I got to figure out what was in it. So the University Career Center at the University of Kansas recently named in the top 10 career centers using social media by Job Brander. Very neat stuff. If you don't follow them on Facebook and Twitter and all they do, you should, because I get lots of ideas from them and I steal it. But I promise I do give them credit when I'm talking on campus about where I got it from. So I'm looking forward to see what they have to offer this afternoon, actually this morning. Sorry, not there yet.
But it's going to go into the afternoon, right, James?
Right.
Not really. Don't worry. Well, thank you, James, and thank you for having us today. Hopefully you'll get a few new ideas to take home with you. But first, before we start, if you have an iPad, a laptop, a mobile device that allows you to get internet access, you can go ahead and go to our website if you'd like. It's KC2013technology.weebly.com, and you can follow along, and we are going to actually have some interactive polls and tweeting options. So if you want to go to that website, it could be very helpful. If you don't have a mobile device that allows you internet access, if you do have a cell phone that allows free texting, you can also participate in our polls via your cell phone. But if you don't have free texting, regular charges will apply, so you may not want to participate that way. But the polls, you can participate either via the internet, via a link that you'll get on the website, or via texting. So if you want to go ahead and go there while we're giving a quick introduction, that would be great. We want you to participate, so it's okay if you're not looking at us right now. So our topic today is practical and free technology for promotion, practice, and productivity. And basically what we're going to do is just highlight some of the things that we've done in our office that we've found helpful or successful. And we're really concentrating on free tools because we know how important that is to all of us, whether you're an employer or a career center. And we feel that the tools that we're going to talk about today and the resources are applicable to employers and career services professionals. So we hope that everything is relevant to everyone. We did create this website, and the hope with the website is that you'll be able to go back at any point after our presentation and access our resources, the information, some how-to documents, because our presentation is not going to be a how-to. It's more we're going to throw some information at you, throw some resources at you, and hopefully get you to start thinking about things that you can do in your own offices that are either similar to what we're doing, or you can take something that you're already doing and enhance it a bit. So this is not going to be a how-to, but we did provide how-tos on the website for each of the resources, okay? We've also linked all of the resources directly, so you can go back and access those at any time. As you can see, we have a live Twitter feed for the hashtag KC2013. We're hoping that throughout this presentation you'll share some of your own ideas, things that you learned maybe, and you'll be able to access that archive. And then something that I wanted to point out is in the future, if you would like to ask us any questions beyond today, maybe something pops into your mind a little bit later down the road, we have a contact us section on our website, and you can just shoot us a quick message and we'll respond to you. And then any new ideas that we get from you, we're also going to post on the website. So we hope that we'll just have a really nice archive of a bunch of ideas that we can use and implement now or in the future. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but if you do want to know more about us, you can check us out on our website, and we're going to talk about these profiles a little bit more when I start my presentation portion. But we're going to go ahead and start with promotion first, and I'll let Katrina take it away.
Thanks, Erin. Morning, everybody. Like James said, my name is Katrina Zaremba, and I'm excited to be presenting on this topic for you today. So in our office, I help with our marketing initiatives and our social media. So my section is going to be kind of geared towards visual engagement on social media. So we all know how important that is to really engage students. We want them to know about our services, our events. So really kind of just spreading the word to the students. And for the employers in the room, we have some pretty cool ideas for you as well. So like Erin said, we'll go ahead and get started with our first poll question. And so this is going to be a Twitter question. So feel free to use the hashtag KC2013 for your answer. And like Erin mentioned, we have a Twitter feed on each of our pages. So hopefully throughout the presentation, you'll be able to kind of see what other people are saying as well. So the first question, how do you typically use social media to promote your business, services, and events? Feel free to go ahead and tweet away.
And you can tweet all throughout, by the way, and please interrupt us and ask questions. So we're not going to make you wait till the end. So if something pops in your head, just raise your hand. So go ahead and start tweeting about your social media. And we'll go ahead and get started.
Great. So the first section I have here is infographics. And hopefully you've been seeing these a lot on social media lately. Sorry, this one may take a little bit to load. But for those of you who aren't as familiar, I have a brief explanation of what an infographic is. And it's basically data or knowledge that's presented in a graphic visual format. So I created this infographic to kind of explain the infographic section. But I think the reason why we're seeing so many infographics on social media lately is because 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, and visuals are processed 60,000 times faster than plain text. So that's huge. People really respond well to these infographics. They like sharing them, they like reading them, they're really easy to skim. 65% of people are mainly visual learners, so it makes sense to put these types of things in an infographic format. So here are just a couple benefits of using infographics. Like I mentioned, they're an easy way to visualize statistics. So infographics are very good for statistics if you have numbers or different stats. Great way to use this. They can help you heighten your brand awareness, so you can really use this to enhance your company or your brand. Build connections with audience. They're very shareable. So people like to share infographics on social media. So if you're putting information out there with great content, people are more likely to share that information. So you can feel free to go ahead and read through the rest of those. But really the part I want to get to are the tools for creating infographics. So you may think, well, all these stats are really great, but we don't have anybody in our office that's a graphic designer, or we don't, have the resources for these types of things. But I found some free tools for you to use. The first one is PictoChart. And if you click on PictoChart, you're able to go to their website. It's really easy to use, and they actually call themselves the tools for non-designers. So you don't have to be a designer to do these types of things. It's really easy. They have some nice templates that you can start from. Thousands of images, vectors, graphics, charts. I created this one also. We posted this on our social media for to show ways that students can prepare for our international careers classes. So there's a few things that they need to do to apply. And so creating an easy checklist seems to be really helpful for students. The second resource I have here is Infogram. An Infogram is fairly similar to PictoChart. I think it's a little bit easier to use, but it's still an exciting way to show your stats in an interactive way. Visualize Me is something that I had never heard of, but when I started researching this, I thought it was actually pretty cool. So this may be something you can refer your students to. And basically what it is, it's an online resume in an infographic format. So say your student has a website or something, it may be beneficial to have a resume, kind of a supplemental resume for their online site. And I did make one just because I wasn't sure how it worked, and it is really simple. So basically you have to create an account. You can actually create your account using LinkedIn, which is what I did. And in one click, it downloaded all of my information that I have on LinkedIn into the infographic. Easy, simple. And then it gives you ways to customize it. You can take things off, you can add things. So even if it's kind of a work in progress, you can continually add different things. But it's just a really dynamic way to kind of show your skills and experience, I think.
And I might add, we meant to add that example in, but it wasn't working properly. So we will get that added in, so you'll have that as a resource to look at in the future.
Absolutely. And for those of you who may not be a little scared of this idea of infographics, I did find this really neat resource. You can create infographics in PowerPoint, which I think is pretty neat. I found this template. It has 5 different infographics on it, and I included it on here. So if you just click on the download button, you can access those at any time. But it really just helps you kind of get the format correct. It has a template for your fonts and font sizes, so it'll look really nice. Okay, so some topic ideas. Checklists are huge for, like we showed this before, for infographics. So students like easy steps. So maybe 5 things to include on your resume. It's simple. It may be 5 bullet points, but you can make it really visual and put it into an infographic format where it's kind of fun for them to read through. Brand awareness. Our office created this infographic during homecoming week to show how we're helping Jayhawks succeed. So it's some basic information that is from our office, but we tried to make it look fun for our fun homecoming week. This infographic was created in Infogram, actually, so the second resource that I had mentioned. This was for National Student Employment Week last week. We did some tabling in our Union area, and so we found these statistics. They aren't specific to KU, they're just general national statistics about student employment. And we created this infographic to keep at our table throughout the whole week that we tabled. And students, I think, liked kind of looking over all those stats. And then another idea you can do to use infographics is destination surveys, which is what we have done here. This is just a very simple infographic, but it's pretty neat to look at. It's a little bit more interesting than, say, like a Word document.
And we also developed this for our annual report. So instead of having, really text-heavy annual report this year, it's all based on infographics, and it looks a lot like this.
Okay, could you go up a little bit more? So these are just a couple other ideas, and if you have any ideas or if you're using infographics, please tweet at KACE 2013 or use the hashtag, and we would love to kind of share all of our ideas. So does anybody else have any examples before we move on? No? Okay.
Or questions about infographics?
Okay, so the second section here is photos. And photos play a really big role in social media these days. So Facebook, there are every day 350 million photos uploaded to Facebook. And actually, uploading photos is the #1 activity on Facebook. So people like photos. They like looking at photos. They like sharing their photos. It's known that photos perform best for likes, comments, and shares as compared to text, videos, and links. So if you really want to get your content out there, stick a photo on there. It's really good for people to look through their news feed, and it really catches their eye compared to just a plain text post. Instagram is a fairly new thing that is very photo-based. It was created in 2010, and there's over 130 million users on Instagram. So I think in the first day Instagram was created, there were like 16,000 photos uploaded just in the very first day. So it's crazy. Instagram is one of my favorite social media sites, so I love it. And for those of you on Twitter, this October, they recently just changed their Twitter feed. So you probably started noticing photos and videos in your newsfeed, so it's looking a lot more like Facebook. Before, Twitter wasn't really a good way to share your photos and videos because you had to click on a link to actually see it. But now, this is just a screenshot from the very first tweet that they showed with a photo or video in it. So very graphic, very engaging.
And you can see some really cool pictures from last night on the KACE Twitter feed too on our website. Thanks for those people who did that.
Okay, so a couple ideas and resources on how you can use photos. So PicMonkey, has anybody heard of PicMonkey? No? You can do anything you want with a photo on PicMonkey. They have some crazy things. Erin and I were looking at this one day and we were just laughing at the things you can do.
We were going to give Chance a tan.
You can give spray tans in different shades. You can give liposuction to your lips. I mean, they have... So you can do very simple things like what I'm going to show you here, an example, or you can do very complex photo editing, but it's free, it's easy to use, it's a great resource. So if you remember the statistic I showed about Facebook, I created that image, so I just found this image. I thought the thumbs up kind of looked like the Facebook thumbs up, so likes, comments, shares. I imported that into PicMonkey. I did a filter. I think this one was cross-processed, so it adds kind of an aged tint to it. And then finally, I just overlaid text. Really simple. Took 3 clicks, typed in my text, and it was done. So I know James was asking about Pinterest a little bit earlier. This is a great way if you're on Pinterest or if your office is on Pinterest and you wrote an article. Well, you can post that article to Pinterest, and one thing that we've learned is to overlay text over your images on Pinterest specifically, because that will give them an idea of what your article is about. Another resource, and some of you may have other types of apps for this, but this one is called Diptych. And so I thought I would share something like this to you guys because you can add multiple images into one image, if that makes sense. So Diptych has over 175 layouts that you can choose from. So one of my ideas for this was maybe you're at a career fair taking pictures, you want to document that. This may be a great way for you to include 5 or 6 pictures into one photo so you're not overwhelming your followers' news feeds, because students don't tend to like an album added. They'll like one picture, but I thought this was a great resource to add multiple pictures to one format. It's free. I believe it's just a mobile app at the moment. I think I read that they were trying to get it on a website, so stay tuned for that, but it's a really great resource. Okay, you may be thinking, wow, this is all great. I really want to use more photos, but I don't have any photos. I don't have a photographer. Well, I added a couple of resources for some free stock photos. So stock photos tend to be kind of cheesy, but I tried to find some that were a little bit more appropriate for our industry. And Unsplash is the first one, and this one is actually pretty cool. It's basically a website where people load their photos, high-resolution photos, so they're great to use for these types of things, but they'll load 10 new ones each 10 days. So it's not really specific to what we're doing, but a lot of them are nice landscapes or like cityscapes, so you can find a way to use them. They're free, so it's nice to have that resource. The next one is HubSpot, and I've actually included a link here. If you see the download free stock photos here, they did kind of a similar study where they didn't have free photos. They didn't know what photos to use. They actually ran into a copyright scandal with one of their articles, and so they developed a ton of stock photos. They're some are for the office, some are of technology, like of iPads or computers. They're pretty simple, but they're free to use. We've used a couple of them. They like to share them, so feel free to download there. You might have to enter your email address to get those, but I love HubSpot's content. I think they're great, and they're really good with marketing. And I included this slide share so you guys can kind of look through. It's a little lengthy. It's about 99 slides. Yep. It's really easy to go through, though. It took me about 15 minutes to get through it, but they have some great tips on how to use stock photos. Awesome. Any questions about photos? Oh, you can see at the bottom there on the Twitter how you can see the photos now. So before you wouldn't be able to see that. You would just see the text. Okay.
Cool. Most people wouldn't click on the link, but when they see the photo, then they're going to get engaged.
All right. Any questions about photos or any of those resources? No? Okay. Moving right along. The next section I'd like to talk about is videos. So it's kind of the third part of this multimedia, rich media section of our presentation. It's taking a little second to load.
More than a second.
Okay, awesome. So kind of like the other sections, I found these really neat statistics on videos and how they incorporate into engagement on social media. So Erin, if you go ahead and play that. There's no sound, so it goes pretty quickly. Viewers spend 100% more time on sites that have videos on them, so people like to watch videos. 100 hours of videos are uploaded to YouTube every minute, and over 6 billion hours of videos are watched each month on YouTube. I thought that was pretty amazing. Okay, so we had a little glitch with our first example here, Instagram. They have an embed code, but the embed code wasn't working, so I just took that off for today. We'll try and get it up so you can have an example of what an Instagram video is. This is a fairly new thing that Instagram has done. Has anybody tried Instagram video yet? Yeah. It's pretty easy. It's fun. So you get 15 seconds to display whatever it is you want to say on Instagram. So it's a quick, snippet of whatever it is you want. You can add filters. You can edit them slightly. You can add different clips and delete them at any moment. But it's a fun way to just show 15 seconds of maybe it's some career advice or one thing to add on your resume and you do a series of them or something like that. Does anybody else have any ideas for Instagram? We personally don't have an Instagram account for our office yet, but I created the video that I was going to show on my personal Instagram, and then you can easily share that to Twitter, Facebook. You would think embed code, but apparently that's not working at the moment. Yeah. That's awesome. Great.
And do you put that on your website or social media or both?
Okay. No. Nope. With Instagram, on Instagram, when you kind of scroll through your news feed, it should automatically start playing. When I had it on the website, you had to click play, so they may have to click depending on what, where you have it, but they shouldn't have to have an account.
Okay, you ready to see some familiar?
Okay, this one's really fun. This is our Vine video that we created. So this is of our wonderful staff at the UCC, and we were feeling a little anxious about a week before the students came back to campus, so we were like, hey, let's try this out. We wanted to show students that we were excited for them to come back, so it's pretty silly, but Vine is mesmerizing. It just loops. So you get 6 seconds. That's all you get with Vine, and it just loops over and over and over again. We could watch it for a few more seconds just to embarrass some of our staff a little bit more. We posted this, and let's see, we have the stats down a little bit lower. On Twitter, it got 15 clicks and 2 retweets. So we posted this before the videos were actually showing in their news feed, so they had to actually click on it, which is a little bit more work. So 15 we thought was pretty good. On Facebook, we got almost 1.8 or 1,800 people that it reached, which is for our posts, it was one of the top posts that we had. 112 post clicks, 15 likes, comments, and shares. So people like silly things. As you can see, this Vine for us was very successful. Get a little sneak peek at the next one too. I know some of our staff is laughing at this too. So we just try and find fun ways to market our services to students, and this was one way that we did it. We created a zombie video to promote our some of our services, and it's called The Working Dead. So we'll just take a couple minutes to watch this. me great sound effects.
Calling out career coaches. There's zombies in the office.
Let's split up and get to work.
Okay, let's try this again. What qualifications make you a good candidate for this job? Just a few. Strengths. Weaknesses. Okay, so talk to me about a time when you had to show initiative. No initiative. Oh, well, okay. Just help me out here. All right, we'll get through this.
I wanted to show you our professional clothing closet because it looks like you could use some clothes for the career fair. So I was thinking maybe this shirt would work for you now. Okay, navy blazer. What about a red tie?
So tell me, do you have any career interests?
Brains.
Brains? Oh, you mean like neuroscience? That sounds interesting. What do you like about brains?
Brains.
Oh, maybe you just mean actual brains. How about an assessment? We could try to figure out maybe some other options for you. Would that sound interesting to you?
Brains.
They're a little exhausted
Did you
from
hear
helping
that?
those zombies.
Wow, they were so helpful.
My mom did so great.
These new clothes make me feel so alive.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
you.
much. Have a great day. Yeah, you too.
Come again.
So we created this video right around Halloween time, and so we kind of promoted it during that whole week of Halloween. And let's see, we have, on Twitter there were 4 clicks, 3 faves, and 2 retweets. On Facebook we reached 743 people. There were 19 clicks and 27 likes, comments, and shares. And on our blog it was the 3rd most viewed post when we were kind of creating this presentation, so early last month. And it had 157 views on YouTube.
Probably mainly us.
Yeah, it was our staff in their offices watching over and over. No. So I found a couple neat articles here that I thought may be helpful if you want to go back and read on just some ways to incorporate video, and specifically Vine and Instagram video, into your marketing for your center or your company. Any questions about videos?
If we have time at the end, we'll show you one more, just to embarrass Chance even more.
Okay, well that's it with my section, so go, Erin, good luck.
Thanks, she wished me luck, great. So Katrina gave you some tips on just using visuals on social media, and so we hope that you got a little bit out of that and some new tools to use. And what I'm going to do is hopefully introduce you either to some new tools or some old tools and potentially some new ways to use them. So if you want to go to the first poll, Katrina, I think, on, oh, I'm sorry, I did need luck. Okay, so something new that we decided to do that I think has been really fun and pretty successful is we being our staff, have About.me profiles. So how many of you know what About.me is? Raise your hand. How many of you not from KU know what About.me is? Okay. Well, we use About.me in 2 ways. 1, to promote our office, and then 2, to promote our staff. And by staff, I mean full-time staff, graduate students, undergraduate staff, everybody. So first, let me show you an example of our University Career Center About.me page. It's a great way to just get a nice image in the background that represents who you are as a company or an organization. This could be great for the employers or the career centers. Obviously, you have the name of your company. You can see you can put an extra image in there. So we did our new website, which we're really trying to promote right now, which is career.ku.edu. And then you have a little bio section. So you can put a little bit about your organization, what you do, what you really want people to know about your company. And then you can put your location, things that are related to your organization. And then at the bottom, which is really cool, you can actually link your social media accounts or any additional websites that you would like to refer people to. So this is one way that we're just trying to get the word out about our office. But I think more importantly, we're using this to let people know about us. We really want students to see who we are, that we're just regular people wanting to help. So, what we've done, well, I mean, with a little theater experience. So what you can do is you can actually put all of your staff members in something that's called a collection, which is what we have done. And these are our lovely staff members. And what we did is we actually hired a student as an intern, and she's a photographer and a videographer. So we had a really fun day this summer where it was photo day, and we all got professional photos taken by our photo intern. It was a blast. What our director really wanted us to do was to personalize our pages, so make them really relay who we are as people. So he didn't want us to necessarily wear a suit or be really professional. He wanted us to be us. So we got to pick what we wore, we got to pick our location, we got to pick our props. So we can just use mine and Katrina's as a couple of examples so we don't embarrass anyone else. But my passion are my puppies. They're my children, and I love them to death. I happen to wear camouflage on a very regular basis. So I chose my backyard and my camo tank top with my two favorite things, Ripken and Radley. And they were just making me laugh, so I thought it would be a more kind of active photo than just a plain shot. So I have my name. We chose to use 3 nouns that represent who we are. So technology geek, beach bum, dog lover. That about says it about me. And then our first paragraph represents what we do at the University Career Center. So we wanted to highlight our jobs, of course. But then the next paragraph, we really wanted to personalize it and talk about what we like to do outside of work. And then if we have personal, professional, and social media, of course we want to encourage students to connect with us. So I have a Twitter and a LinkedIn account. And then the websites that I'm professionally associated with are linked there as well. We'll go and look at Katrina's also, but while we're switching to hers, I might just let you know that Katrina and I's individual pages alone have received over 1,700 views, which is pretty cool. And we just created these in late July. Ask Cheryl. Yeah, great question. It's actually our staff page on our website. So if you go to our website, there's an About section, and it says University Career Center staff. If you click on that, it has circle headshots of all of us, and then you click on that headshot or our name, which also has our 3 nouns and a little brief preview of who we are. You click on that, it takes them directly to our About.me page. So this is Katrina's, just very similar. She decided to go downtown to Mass Street, I believe, and found a unique little stairway. So if you want to go back, Katrina, to our main page, I'll let them know the statistics of our Career Center. It's hard to see there. But yeah, our Career Center page has had 4,621 views since we started it. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, since July. So these are getting a lot of views. And once we had our new website up, one of the most common comments that we received or messages was that they absolutely loved our staff page and our About.me profiles. So it's pretty cool. Other ways that you could use this, we thought with students, it would be a great way for students to find people who are interested in careers that they're interested in. So it could be a networking tool. So students can search in About.me based on the likes of the people, the interests of the people, the locations of the people. So if they're looking for someone to network with in Dallas, Texas, who's a graphic designer, you could search that in About.me and find profiles of people who are graphic designers in Dallas, Texas. So that's another way that we thought that students could use this resource other than just branding themselves and marketing themselves as well, especially for those students who are in more creative fields. Any questions about About.me? Yeah, Julie. I don't think you can embed a video, but you could link a video. So if you had a YouTube video that you wanted to link directly, you could put the link, and they'd have to click on the link, but you can't actually embed a video as far as I know. It's absolutely free. Yeah, all of our resources that we're sharing with you today are absolutely free. Some of them do have pro options, but we primarily use them with the free versions, and if we don't, we'll let you know, and it's a very minimal cost. But no, this is absolutely free, and our photos were free too. I mean, except for what we pay our intern, but she's part of our marketing team, so she does much, much more for us than just take photos of us. The staff loves it when they get an email from me saying, oh, another photo day, which we've done more often than not lately. But I think it's a pretty cool resource that we've implemented. Any other questions about .me? I have how-tos. If you just want to scroll down there, let's see, view common profiles. No, I'm sorry, I guess I don't have a how-to for this one. I have a how-to for everything else. It's beyond easy. You click on it and it walks you through the steps. It has a table across the top and it says upload photo. You click on it, you browse, you upload your photo. Next it says complete your biography. You click on it, you type in your bio, you hit enter. Next it says link social media. You click on it, you put in your social media. It's simple. You can change the font. It has you type in your name and then it says, you know, what font do you want? And you select that font, you select the color that you want. You can select and customize the color for anything, and it's just right there in that tab. Yeah, it's very, very simple. I did look for a tutorial, but I think it was so simple that there wasn't one. Okay, we can go ahead. Next, how many of you, by show of hands, have a newsletter for your office or your organization? Anybody? Just a few of you? Okay. For those of you who have a newsletter, I don't know, just shout out. About how long does it take you to create that newsletter, would you say? Anybody want to share? Joey? 8 hours. Wow. Okay. Any others? 3 hours? Okay. What if I told you you could have a newsletter that took 0 hours? I'm not kidding. Paperly is a newsletter that we have in our office, and it's paper.li, and what it is it's a customizable news feed. So you can feed in information from just about any source that you would like to feed in. We feed from some of our social media sites, such as Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then we also feed from our blog, but then we also have picked some other feeds and you know, Twitter feeds and things like that that we think are relevant to our students, to our parents, to our faculty, to our staff. Things like wetfeet.com, USA Today, College, trying to see some of the others if they're on there. Career, I can't say that. Careerism, I don't know. Thanks, Kent. So anyway, all you do is you take about 30 minutes maybe to set this up initially, and you can customize it. If you'll notice at the top, it has our this is kind of our brand now for our new website, and we put that in the background. We are leading them to our new website as well. We have a title. If you go and scroll down, there's a little blurb about who we are, what we do, why we have this newsletter. And then we can actually feature specific articles if we would like, and we can add in customizable images that link directly to our event pages and things like that. So anyone who subscribes to our newsletter gets this once a week automatically via email, and they get all the updated information about what's going on at the Career Center and information that we want to pass along to those who we think might be interested. And if you scroll up a little bit, Katrina, people can just subscribe by clicking subscribe, and all they do is enter their email address, and it automatically subscribes them, and then the next time that newsletter goes out, they get the email. So it's actually really, really cool. Something really neat that we did is, something really neat that we did is we got a new website, as I said, career.ku.edu. Our old website was kucareerhawk.com, and we marketed the heck out of that URL. So we knew it was going to take a lot to transition people to our new site. So what we did is we actually pay for the pro service for Paperly. It's $9 a month. That's it. And we were able to direct our former URL, kucareerhawk.com, to our Paperly newsletter. So now anybody who goes to kucareerhawk.com, this is where it takes them. and then we direct them to our new website as well. So they still get information. They're not just taken to some black hole, or I'm sorry, this website no longer is available. It takes them to a helpful resource. They can subscribe if they would like, and then it directs them to our new website. And then in addition, on our new website, it links directly to kucorrect.com weekly and encourages them to subscribe to stay up to date. We had a question. Yep, great question. Currently, we only have 81. That's actually up a little bit more. It's probably closer to 90 now, but we haven't done much to promote this yet. One thing that we're really trying to do is transition this to become our parent newsletter. So we have parents who subscribe during new student orientation. That I know we heard Dana talk about at K-State. We do something similar, and parents can opt to subscribe to a parent newsletter, and what we're really hoping to do is transition this to the parent newsletter so we're not having to make something specifically for parents. So most of these subscribers are just people who have found out about it through our website or by going to kucorrect.com. However, you can see that we have had 7,259 views since July. Other questions? All right, so that's Paperly. Now we're going to get into a resource that we'd like for you to help us with, and this is called Poll Anywhere. It's not really something that we're going to talk about, but we want you to participate using Poll Anywhere. And just so you know, you can create your own polls for free using Poll Anywhere, and you can embed these in PowerPoint. So if you're doing a PowerPoint and to a student group or something, you can embed these polls and make it really interactive for those students. So we're going to have 3 polls. The first one that we would like for you to participate in is this one. It says, have you used Google Maps for work purposes? You can answer one of 2 ways. You can text the keyword to 37607, and so if you're answering yes, you've used Google Maps for work purposes, you would type in 277026 as your message. If your answer is no, you would type in 277028. Did you go ahead and start it? Okay. So as you answer that question, you're going to see this is going to be live updated. You can also go to the direct link, which is pollev.com/KACE-Tech2013, and you can respond via that direct link as well. Yeah, Dana? Right, okay, so the phone number is going to be 37607, and then your answer, if you're answering yes, it's going to be 277026 that you're going to type as your message, and if you're answering no, you're going to type 277028 as your message. Does that make sense? Okay. And one reason why it has these weird coded numbers is because this is the free version. If you pay for it, then you can actually answer using yes, no, things like that, okay? So as you can see, it's growing, which is good. It updates in real time, so we'll give just people a couple more minutes to respond. I think this could be a really cool tool to work, or to use, in workshops with students. Ask them a question and they can answer in real time. I mean, every student, I'm sure, has a phone with them. All right, so it looks like a majority have used Google Maps for work purposes. So we're going to ask you to do a little more work next. We'll go ahead and close this poll just as an example. We have to open the other one. Sorry, it's a little finicky, but we'll get it. Next, we'd like for you to actually answer a question, if you don't mind. Again, you can do it one of 2 ways, via text or the direct link. For what purposes have you used Google Maps at work? Okay, and you can be very brief. You can use abbreviations. So again, if you want to text, you'll text, the message is going to be 277225, and the phone number is going to be 37607. And then along with that 277235, you would type your answer, or you can just respond via the direct link. So if anyone wants to give that a shot, we'll pull up a few things. Yeah, Cheryl? I think so. Yeah, we turned the other one off. I'm not sure. It's something with the poll anywhere coding. I'm not sure. It's probably to identify the unique question based on the poll that's using the 37607 number. Okay, so you can see how it works, right? It's pretty cool to see that in real time. So let's see some of the ideas. People have used Google Maps to locate employers, to send directions to a company. All right, here you go. Now you're getting it. Help students find out how far away employers are from the interviews, to find locations for off-site events, to show students and employers where specifically an event is located and a web page. So it sounds like a lot of you are using them for direction purposes, which I think is the common use for Google Maps, right? Okay, Katrina, let's go ahead and close that just for time purposes. Let me show you what we do, which I think is kind of cool. We actually use Google Maps to show other KU students where other KU students have interned. So they can go and see this map, and this is our actual map of where KU students have interned. And Katrina, if you want to click on the example, it'll be a little more interactive. What we do is we put a link on our website, and we also utilize my class, which is an internship exploration class, to find out where KU students have interned. And they submit this really brief form. It takes less than 30 seconds for them to complete. And they submit it, I get an email, and then we can add it to this Google map very, very quickly. There is a how-to, by the way, on our website on how to do this. But you can see we've had students interning internationally, all over the United States. Katrina, if you click on one of those icons, the student can immediately see the place in which that student interned at that location. And something that we're working on, and I'm really sorry that we don't have this done yet, there's been a little delay. We are actually going to be linking video profiles of these students who have interned in these locations. So we have a database of hundreds of YouTube videos of where students have interned, and currently they're just on our website with a link. But what we're going to do is actually link them directly to the spot on the map, so when the student clicks, they'll also be able to view the YouTube profile of that student's experience at that specific location and organization. So, sorry those aren't done yet. I meant to put an example in, but time just got away from me. So if you want to go back to the website, we've had this actually available since July 2009. So this is one of our older resources, but we continually use it, and it continually gets hit. We've had 15,262 views on that map. And so some other ways that you could use this is to show where your alums are. We actually have a career-focused honor society called Delta Epsilon Iota, and we used to keep a Google map of where our DEI alums were working. We thought that might help with networking. Of course, we keep it all anonymous. We don't use names or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that. But still, I think it's helpful just to see where other people are, what organizations they're in. Let's see, where members are located. Where mentors are located. Sorry, I can't see very well. Within the maps, you could include information such as the position or intern type, the major of that particular student, the organization or employer title. You can even actually get the icon on the map to the exact location of that organization rather than just the city, and that's what we try to do. And then, like I said, you could use video spotlights, and we do that using YouTube. You could collect the information in a number of different ways, maybe via destination surveys. You could stalk people on LinkedIn. You could use graduation surveys, or like I said, we just have a form that's on our website. You could create a form through SurveyMonkey or something like that. We happen to have a form tool through our website that we use, but SurveyMonkey would work just as easily. So I think it's a pretty cool resource, and students happen to love this. And even more than this, they absolutely love the video profiles of where students have interned. If you want to go one more time to the map, Katrina, I'm sorry. In addition to clicking just on the location, you probably noticed on the side there, you could click on the name of the company, and then that's going to show you the location of where that student interned. So, kind of cool. Google Maps. Yep, Google Maps. All right, so that is our bit on Google Maps. Now we're going to go on to Ustream. This is something brand new that we just started doing, and we're pretty excited about it. I'm sorry, Jolene. No, we have to manually do it. Yeah, we have to manually do it, but it takes 10 seconds to do one of them. And like I said, Katrina, if you want to go back, there is a how-to on there. There's the old Google Maps and the new Google Maps how-to. It's so easy. It seriously takes less than 10 seconds to enter one. Of course, if you're going to add the video in, it would take a little bit longer, but not much. And we have some student staff that actually helped me with this initial setup, and they just did it in between when they were answering the phone, and it took them less than a morning to do over 400. So pretty quick and easy. Yeah. Any other questions about Google Maps, how we're using it, or ways that you're using it that we haven't talked about yet? Okay. Well, we'll go into Ustream. Like I said, this is going to be a really quick preview. Yeah, Dana? Sure. You can make it, you don't have to make it public, first of all. But second, like I said, we don't use any names or anything like that. We don't put the major on the map, so it would be nearly impossible to figure out who that student is. But you can make them unlisted if you want. Ours happens to be public. Yeah. And we get permission from the student to put the videos online as well, so we're not just throwing it up there. So. And we also ask the students not to put their name on their video or in their video either. So we don't have them. It's through my class mainly that we get the videos. And if a student asks me to take it down, I do after the class is over. Sometimes they'll come back 2 years later and like, hey, I didn't do a very good job on that video. Can you take that down? And I do. And not very often. I think I've only had 3 asked to take it down, and I've had thousands of students. So, all right, Ustream. Something that we started doing this year is live streaming our workshops. So we found that sometimes we struggle to get students to attend our workshops, and we decided to repackage those a few years ago. And mainly we do workshops in our office, so not to a classroom, not to a student group, that are surrounding our big events. So our internship fair, our university career fair, education interview day, things like that. And so these are workshops that we have in our office primarily that we promote to students to prep them for those events. And we decided, well, you know, we're not having great student attendance, so what if we try to live stream these, see what happens? So we actually used Adobe Connect because we're lucky. KU purchases that. It's very expensive. But you can use Ustream. It's absolutely free. In fact, Katrina and I thought about using Ustream even though we had full access to this very expensive Adobe Connect. In the end, we decided to go with Adobe Connect primarily because it made it easier for us to do live streaming of question and answering and polling, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I would say the first workshop that we live streamed was our How to Attend the Internship Fair workshop. And on average, I've always done that presentation. I've had anywhere from 2 to 12 students attend, okay, on a campus of 30,000. So it's not very many. And Katrina and I didn't really know what we were doing. But we were like, let's just try this. Let's give it a shot. It's going to be us doing this workshop. If it's a total disaster, it's okay. It's fine. And our director knew what we were doing, and he was fine with it. So we gave it a shot, and we ended up having 5 students in person, and at any given time, 7 to 8 students viewing online, and it was fantastic. The students who were viewing online were so interactive. They were asking questions nonstop. They were participating in the questions that I asked as the presenter via Katrina, who was sitting in the back with a computer monitoring the online viewers, answering their questions. If there was a question that she couldn't answer, she would ask the question for the student. I would answer it. And the really cool thing is this whole time we were recording it, so that whole conversation was recorded as well. So now students can go back and watch this video anytime on demand, see the entire workshop, and also see the entire comment feed, so the Q&A. One thing that we didn't do this time that we want to do in the future is we're going to insert polls as well. So we're going to do that. And through Ustream, you can actually do everything but the polls, I believe, for free. However, the Q&A part, the commenting part, is a little finicky. So what we would recommend is if you're going to use the free version of Ustream, and to pay for it, it's ridiculously expensive. Use the free version of Ustream and then do a Twitter feed like we're doing right now. Something like that would be really quick and easy because you can embed a Twitter feed on any website. So what we did is to promote this, we obviously sent emails out, we put it on the front page of our website to let students know that we were having this workshop, but that we were also live streaming it and that they could watch it either way. And we put an image on the front of our website that was this pretty much, and it had a play button on it, and it said, you know, coming at 4 p.m. live stream of how to attend a workshop, and then students just clicked on it and they could watch the whole presentation from their dorm room, from the library, wherever they wanted. So that was really cool. We're really excited about it. We know our stats aren't huge here, but for us it was a huge success because our stats weren't very big to begin with. And the fact that the online students were so engaged was just awesome. And so in the spring we're going to be live streaming every single one of our workshops. So should be pretty cool. Any questions about this? I'm sorry? Yeah, if you want, you can click on the example. It just shows that through Adobe Connect, we can just have them click on the link, and you can do this through Ustream as well. And eventually it'll just start, and you'll see me presenting. And if it doesn't work, we'll move along. But there we go.
So we'll go ahead and get started, but like I said, this is a preparatory workshop.
So down at the bottom, this is where you'll see the comments would eventually start happening. Obviously, no one's asking questions right now. You can see the students as they log in. So we currently have 3 students logged in, and then we get up to 8. So they keep logging in. We can see who the student is through Adobe Connect. Through Ustream, it would be anonymous, but that's okay. I mean, you don't need to know who the student is. So that's an example that you can look at online.
We'll talk about,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I totally messed this up. Probably nervous because of my training. Sorry about that. First, why should you attend the internship fair? Why do you think we have it? Why do you think we go?
Okay, we're going to watch this whole presentation. It's only an hour long. Told James I didn't want to go back to the office.
Networking, right. Actually, meeting with these employers. We have 32 employers.
We might have to shut down here.
So it's that capacity. And a lot of times,
yeah, I tried that. Is that what you're talking about, Dana?
1 to 3 employers. So it's a great networking opportunity.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Any questions about Ustream or live streaming before I try to remember the other things that we were going to talk about and do an intro? Any questions about live streaming? Yeah, Julie.
Absolutely. We're about the company.
Sorry.
Those are opportunities that you may not even know exist until you actually go.
I have never used that. Has anyone used Microsoft Link, and do you know if it's similar? Oh my gosh, I can't stop.
Talk to them, and next thing you know, you find out they have
Oh dear.
that might be a really great fit for you.
Oh dear, that's our motto for December in our office. We have an upside down deer hanging in our kitchen that says, oh dear, with Christmas lights hanging from his antlers. Okay, Julie, I'm sorry. Anyone use Microsoft Link? Anybody use that? I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry. Okay. We'll get back up here in a second. Any other questions about live streaming? Anyway, we're really excited to try it in the spring because we do a lot of marketing for our university career fair. We didn't market the other one all that much, so we'll see. All right, we're going to move on to productivity, and one more poll question really quickly. All right, so if you do any sort of volunteer sign-ups, okay, so maybe for career fairs or something like that, we'd like to know, in what way do you primarily recruit or sign up volunteers? Okay, so again, you can text a code to the phone number 37607, and then you can use the codes if you need me to read them, I will, or you can go to the direct link. So the first one is, let me come over here. Send an email and ask individuals to reply with their availability. Launch a Doodle link and ask volunteers to sign up via the Doodle link. have individuals sign up on a paper sign-up sheet, or something else that's not listed. Okay, so again, send an email and ask individuals to reply, launch a Doodle link and ask volunteers to sign up, have individuals sign up on a paper sheet, or launch a Sign Up Genius link. Okay, those who said other, not listed, what do you do, if you don't mind me asking? Anybody? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, a few of you have used Sign Up Genius, which is what we're going to talk about, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit repetitive for you, but this is a resource that I found by accident a few months ago, and it has just been amazing. We used to use Doodle, which we thought was amazing, and then we found Sign Up Genius, and I absolutely love it. So, Katrina, if you want to click on the example. For all of our events, we recruit volunteers, either through our office or through some student groups on campus. And the old way, when I first started 7 years ago, we were sending out an email, and then people would reply to that email, and then you'd have 15, 20, 25 emails with replies of yes, no, this is my availability, and it was kind of a mess. We'd kind of try to organize that in an Excel spreadsheet. So then we started using Doodle, which organized it in an Excel spreadsheet, but there were still a few issues and some extra steps that we had to take. And now with Sign Up Genius, all you have to do, again, completely free, is you set up an event, and you can set the hours in which you need volunteers. You can set the number of volunteers that you need, so other volunteers cannot sign up. So once it hits that capacity, so if you need 5 volunteers from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., once that slot's full, no one else can sign up for that. So you're not going to end up with 17 volunteers signed up when you only need 5, okay? The other thing is you get an email notification if you would like anytime someone signs up. If it's a student group like we were using here, the students can actually see other students who are volunteering at that time. So if they want to sign up with a friend, they can. And then it can auto send an email reminder to the students if you would like, and you can customize that email. It's downloadable through an Excel spreadsheet. If someone needs to change, they can go in through that same link and just alter their availability. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes, Cheryl. You can request contact information. I believe you can request name, email, and phone number. What we did was we just requested email because that's all that was relevant to us, which was fantastic because that's something that we couldn't necessarily do through Doodle. And when you download that spreadsheet, it has student's name, email address, and availability. Yes. Yep, I believe you can do that. It has to be pretty brief, though, I think. But yes, yes, you can. And Ashley and I were just talking about whether or not we wanted to do that. We decided not to because, I mean, let's be real. Who wants to do parking? Nobody. So no one's going to sign up for that. So we just chose to let them know that they needed to dress warm and we're going to do parking. Yeah. So yes, we did look at that. There was that option, and we chose not to do that for that reason. Was that it, Cheryl? Do you have other questions? Or I think there was a question over here or a comment. Send an email, and they just click the link, and it takes them basically to a page that looks very similar to this, but they just type in their information then and the slots that they're available. They could sign up for multiple hours if they wanted to. You'll see some multiple names on there, but yeah, they just get the link, and it takes them to a page, and they sign up. And then, like I said, if you want to get the auto email as soon as someone signs up, you can, or you can shut that feature off and just go check it periodically. Dana. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. And you can turn that off, too, if you want. But I agree. It's like 24 or 48 hours before they say, hey, don't forget, you're volunteering. Absolutely. I absolutely love this. Yeah. I think you could definitely do that. That's a fantastic idea. I don't see why you couldn't. she said, how about using this for a mock interview sign-up tool? So if you have maybe a class who needs to all sign up for mock interviews, send them a Sign Up Genius link and they could sign up. I think that's a fantastic idea. Something else that's not quite as professional, I guess, but we have a holiday party every year. Another thing that you can do with this is you could sign up for what items, food items people are going to bring, or we're doing a collection box for the Humane Society. So if maybe we want to make sure that not everybody brings paper towels and we have a good variety, you can have people sign up for things through Sign Up Genius that way too. But I love the mock interview idea. That's great. Thank you. Other ideas or comments? Yeah, Alex. Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, we saw a way to do that too, didn't we? I think what we were going to have to do was, it's not as customizable as we wanted, but you could put in a section, and basically for us it was like one student group. So we said like, are you in DEI, yes or no, and they could select yes or no. But I can't remember if you could actually say, are you in any one of these groups? List them out. I'm not sure about that. I think so. I think it was a yes or no. But you'd have to look into that a little bit more, and if you want me to do that, just send me an email and I'd be happy to look. Yeah. Okay. And do you guys have the free version? Okay. Okay. Well, it sounds like it's possible, and if you need any help, just let me know. I can take a look at it with you. So thank you, Dana. Yeah, I love this tool. I completely by accident found it, and it's really awesome. Saves a lot of time. So, any other questions about this one? I think we just have one left, maybe. Yeah. That's a great question, Dina. Yes, that's a great question. Well, one tool that I would definitely recommend, just Google it. It's called 60 and 60. And I'm a part of ISTE, which is International Society for Technology and Education. And I went to the ISTE conference a few years ago, which was absolutely fantastic. And I went to a session that was called 60 and 60. And it's this guy who literally does a workshop where he presents 60 new technology tools in 60 seconds. It's amazing. 60 minutes. Sorry. That would be impossible. Okay. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? That would be amazing. But he has a Prezi, and there are 60 new technology tools, so one per minute. It's so fast-paced. He has a lot of examples, a lot of videos. It's just awesome. If you Google 60 and 60, it will pop up, and you can watch all of his presentations. So I think he has one from 2010 through 2013 with new technology tools. So 60 times, that's a lot of tools, okay? So that's how I ended up finding this. I also have a Twitter feed where I follow a lot of people who are just into technology. That's what I like to do, so I follow people who are into technology. I found a few through liking Facebook pages as well that are similar to some of the people that I follow on Twitter. I get ISTE articles, and there are a lot of apps like EduTecher. It's EduTecher, I believe. It's a blog and an app where you can get new technology that's related to teaching. However, a lot of those are more geared towards elementary and secondary level, but I just try to be creative and figure out, well, how could we use that? But I highly recommend 60 and 60. He's awesome. Any other tools that people use to find out about technology? Yeah. Yeah, Katrina does.
Sure. I could pull ours up if that would be helpful. So Hootsuite, we use Hootsuite to kind of manage our social media sites, mainly Twitter and Facebook, and we have several streams set up. Do you have any specific questions that you want me to cover? Okay. right. It is extremely helpful. It saves me a lot of time because I can go in, see what posts we have scheduled for the day or the week. Sorry, let me get logged in here. I think for the most part, we do, some of our professional staff has their own. This is our Hootsuite homepage. We just have one login for Hootsuite, so we all just use the same one. So you can see here all of our different streams. So each column is called a stream. And so what we have here are our sent tweets. So these are things we've sent out. You can schedule them really easily. We have a content calendar that we try and schedule things out for the semester, kind of just general posts that we'd like, but we transfer those from the content calendar, which is in an Excel spreadsheet, to our content calendar about every 2 weeks. We'll do about 2 weeks at a time. You can pose your message right here. It'll usually have a count, so you can see how many characters you have left here, which is really helpful. If you click this little calendar button, this is your scheduling tool, so it drops down to a calendar. So say I want to send something Monday morning at 9:40 a.m. You hit schedule, and it will automatically go into your scheduled tweet stream right here. So then we've added a couple others. So people that retweet us, people that mention our handle, Twitter handle, so we could just stay up to date on if people are mentioning us, answer questions that way. We also have a career news stream, KU on Twitter, so we follow other departments and see kind of what's going on campus. It's just a really easy way to organize for us. And then you can see our Facebook tab is just up here. It's really easy. I think we pay for the pro version. It's very minimal, maybe like $10 a month, I think.
I think we just have one more tool to show you, and this was kind of cool too. Have any of you used Asana? Nobody? Okay, so everybody will learn something from our presentation, hopefully. Asana is an online collaboration tool, and we started using it this summer because we found that Katrina and the marketing interns were working on projects, and then I was involved in those projects, and David, our director, was involved, and Wendy was involved, and just a bunch of different players were involved in these projects. And our offices are not necessarily all next to each other, or we don't always work at the same time, and so it was kind of difficult sometimes to stay organized and know who was doing what and when something was done. So we started using Asana, and what you can do is you can put in tasks that you're working on as a group. So for example, one thing that we were doing this summer is we were overhauling our website, and part of that was creating all of these icons, and I was responsible for creating the content and figuring out which icons we needed, but then some of the marketing interns would help make those icons. Likewise, I was making those icons as well. So I didn't want to make an icon and then have the marketing intern make the icon, because that would not be good use of our time. So what we did was we established a task in Asana, and you can assign people to that task, or a project, I guess. And then within that project, you can assign specific tasks to people. You can make notes within there to say when you've accomplished something. You can upload Word documents. You can upload spreadsheets. So what we did is we had for this one example, is we had a spreadsheet of all the icons that we needed, all the web pages I needed to be on, and then we had a column for when that icon was done and who created it. So every time a new icon was done, they could just go into Asana, mark, November 20th with their initials, and then we knew, okay, no one else needs to do that icon. And so there's just this running list of what was accomplished, and then you can actually finish a project as well within Asana. So if you just want to see some examples, if you want to, can we get into ours? Okay. Well, unfortunately, we can't look at ours, but we have about 8 people who are sort of collaborators in our Asana account. Again, it's absolutely free, and you can see all the other people who are working on that project with you. Like I said, you can make updates on a regular basis, and you can even have emails sent to all the players in that project when something new is added or done, so you can stay up to date really, really easily on what's going on in that project. So I'm not saying that we didn't talk to each other face to face. That's not what this is supposed to replace, but it's just a nice way to keep everyone organized and everything documented, so we had record of what was going on and who was doing what and when and where and all of those things. So it's been a really, really helpful tool, I know, especially for the marketing team. And then I know, yeah, they use it constantly, and I know a few of the rest of us have been pulled into that as well. So, sorry we can't show you our example, but there is somewhat an example from just this on a site listed on there, as well as how-tos and demos. So that was really quick, I know, but I think it's a pretty cool tool that you all should definitely take a look at.